Hello there and welcome to Cooking in the Kitchen again with DC Coast to Coast Boomchang Records, and I'm Stephen Paul Cunningham. Today we've got Simma singer-songwriter from the Northeast, been around the scene for a little while, and would like to have a little chat with him today and see what he's been up to and what he's going to be up to. How we doing?
Very well, thanks.
Oh, very good.
Cheers. Been well fed.
Have you been fed?
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
It was very nice, thank
Well, I'm on a diet at the minute, actually, and I succumbed to eating the egg sandwich. So I'm just going to have a shake tonight and no meal, but we'll sort that out anyway. Enough about eating. What you been up to, and where you're from, and what do you do?
I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm from Newcastle, the west end of Newcastle, which is like a little kind of village in itself. I've been playing for, oh my word, I've been playing for 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah, but writing songs, writing anything, writing poetry, performing.
All right.
Love performing. And running gigs and putting gigs on. Acoustic music is just my thing, you know.
Right.
I've always been very into it and always try to promote it within the confines of our little city.
That's very good. I mean, how long have you been doing that?
About 20 years.
20 years,
About
you
20
said,
years.
yeah.
I think I put my first gig on when I was 17, so yeah.
17, right.
Yeah.
And how did you get into that? Were you doing music at school, or?
No, I was roundly discouraged from doing music at school.
Oh, wait.
I just wanted to be a songwriter. I'd heard some stuff, and I really felt like I couldn't be anything other than a songwriter.
Right.
So I just wanted to put those gigs on. And when I first started, there were no gigs for singer-songwriters in our city, you know.
Oh, it's quite popular now, isn't it? You see these buskers nights. And...
Huge now. But when I first started, the only place you could get a gig was supporting like a metal band.
Oh, really?
And you're trying to kind of sing a meaningful heartbreak song in front of like
with your acoustic guitar.
Yeah,
and things.
in front of a room full of like 17-year-olds waiting to have their ears bled.
Right.
And it was, you know, I thought, well, can we put some people together? And there were loads of people who wanted to do it.
Right.
So we ended up having quite a strong scene, you know.
Okay. And was that, did that have a logo? Did you have a sort of brand or something?
Yeah,
Or how did that come about?
Well, we called it the Acoustic Circus.
All right.
Just because there was a nightclub somewhere called the Electric Circus.
All right.
So we decided to call it the Acoustic Circus. And I like the idea of cabaret as well, of
right.
Like he has an act and they're on for 20 minutes and he has another act and they're on for 20 minutes.
That goes back to music hall days.
Yeah.
Now down the big market, we used to have a venue there. I think it was called Bambra's.
Yeah.
It's in the
Blade and Race.
Blade and Race, very famous song. And I think that had that kind of thing in it, didn't it?
Yeah.
So you brought that back sort of in the, 90s, was it?
It was the very early 2000s.
Oh, was it?
I think
late 90s, early 2000s.
it was a late 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got into that.
Yeah.
So you started doing all of that, kind of getting people on stage and doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Getting yourself a circuit. How many songs you've written?
Well, I've got probably, I don't know, I think I'm not what you would call mega prolific.
Right.
But I think I've probably got 50 that I would play to people.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I know people who've got hundreds and hundreds,
sure.
But I also know songwriters who they will only write if they've got something to write for.
Yeah.
Like if they're making an album, that's
yeah,
what
it's not about how many songs you got. It's sometimes about the quality and
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably 100 that I would never play to anyone. But, you know.
So how do you go about approaching the singer-songwriter side of it? Do you have an idea in your head or chord progression, or do you do it with music?
Well, I tend to always write words first, although things come differently, I think, at different times. But I don't think there's a formula.
Right.
I'm sure some people that work to a formula and it's great, but I tend to write words first and then kind of find my way musically around it.
Fantastic.
You know?
Well, do you fancy playing us a song now?
Yeah.
What's this one? What is it about?
This is about, it doesn't sound like it, but it's about getting really drunk at a party.
All right.
And wandering from house to house. And it's called Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, which we just had.
Which we just had, yeah.
Oh, right, quite apt then.
Yeah. We were ticking out the time and then he said to me, it will be the same, it never changes. Had another cigarette and sometime in the night sat and played piano to some strangers. It snowed on that New Year's Eve like it's supposed to do. We all went from house to house rejoicing, had our premonition of the year that was to come. Our own predicted joy was overwhelming. So, Happy New Year, this is the one we've talked about. And Happy New Year, this is where it all works out. This is where it comes together and everything comes through. And happy ever after all comes true. What is it about the course of time, I said to them, makes us drink ourselves beyond all caring? We sat and played some songs we know, some Dylan and some blues, drank some more to welcome the new year in. In between the songs we all played snowballs in the street, finished off the whiskey and the wine. Wandering again we slid along the icy ground until somebody said, oh, back to mine. So, Happy New Year, this is the one we've talked about. And Happy New Year, this is where it all works out. This is where it comes together and everything comes through. Happy ever after all comes true. Maybe this next year will bloom like flowers in the rain. Maybe we'll survive and maybe not. I hope we're all together by the time it comes again, and wishing to hold on to what we've got. So, Happy New Year, this is the one we've talked about. And Happy New Year, this is where it all works out. This is where it comes together and everything comes through. Happy ever after all comes true.
Whoa, yeah, man.
Yes.
That's brilliant, now.
Thanks a lot.
I felt I was at the party.
Yeah, it was a real party. It actually happened.
That's excellent.
Every year that goes past, I'm still playing that song that the kids are always playing snowballs with, Get Older.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, oh my word.
The snowballs get harder, do you think?
yeah, man.
Oh, that's great. A lot of words.
Yes.
Very wordy.
Yeah.
So I guess that ties over with your poetry side of things, is it?
Yeah, I tend to write lots and lots of words and then edit down. Is the way that it goes. Yeah. Although you can hear really when I was coming off the back of my book. I was writing. There's a track on my.
So you've got a book.
Yeah, I've got a book which was published 3 years ago, I think, which was my first collection of poetry.
Can you still get it?
You can get it on Amazon, and you can get it from Zebra Publishing, which is online.
Right.
Yeah, and you can probably get it from my website as well.
What's it called?
It's called Last Night I Married the Audience.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Well, Last Night I Married the Audience. That's brilliant.
The relationship in my life is the more, like, no offense to anyone, but the most stable and ongoing relationship I've ever had was with an audience. Was it? Which is different people every night, but it's still the audience.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
So it's about. I mean, it's a title poem, and it's about how you arrive and it's like a marriage, and by the end of it you're kind of breaking up and going away into the night, you know.
Oh, right.
But the whole night is like a marriage, you know.
Yeah. Do you find it hard to connect sometimes with audiences? I mean, you get obviously different traffic every night, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I play
don't call audience traffic, but you know what I mean. You get a different crowd, don't you? So.
I play really diverse kinds of gigs. I play lots of different types of gigs.
Right.
And sometimes it's easier than others. And sometimes it's brilliant, and you're in, and everybody is. You know,
some nights you get an up night that's dead easy.
Yeah, but there is no feeling in the world like having to fight for them and getting them.
All right.
You know, having to really try and winning is wonderful, I think.
So if you start off on a night and it's quite difficult for you, do you think, right, by the end of the night, I want them on my side?
Yeah,
and
yeah. I think that's the best feeling in performance is having to
feeling.
battle for it and winning. It's great.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's your book, the poetry side of it. Do you want to give us a poem? Can you read one for us? Or?
I should, yeah. There's one on here, I think.
Aye.
Trying not to block.
That looks a bit modern technology.
It's really old, this, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you not use papers and pens anymore?
I do, but it's just so much easier to edit.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, rather than crossing out and starting again, it's just so much easier to go back in. And I tend to forget things, so like...
I quite like paper and
yeah,
pens and things like
but
that.
I like reading straight out of the book, but I'm very forgetful. So everything's on here, all my song lyrics, all chords and everything is on one thing.
Brilliant.
So I can forget that and leave it in the house and be completely...
Using technology to help you out there.
Yeah. This is about those multi-shows and about radio. I used to work in radio, and as one presenter would leave a studio, they would say to the person coming in, have a good show.
Oh, would they?
And I always thought it was a loaded statement, so I wrote this.
Right.
It's cool. Have a good show, mate. Do your best and they'll love you. Knock 'em dead, well, within boundaries, not actual murder. But really, I wish you every success. Well, maybe not every success, but the ones that won't make me jealous, I genuinely hope you can achieve. I want you to find what you're looking for, as long as I approve of your discovery. If I find that you have reached a peak before me, I'll have to renegotiate my journey. You see, every piece of praise you receive is drawn from a finite praise bank. Every round of applause you get depletes the great cosmic lake of applause. And when anyone gives you a compliment, it invalidates every single time anybody's ever told me I'm any good at anything, from riding a bike to kissing a girl. So please fail miserably and publicly. But you know, have a good show.
Oh man,
It was.
is that a bit cynical, do you think?
Yeah, it is, but I think it's truthful.
Honesty is the best policy, isn't it? Every time.
I found that a lot. That was like, it was almost like a, you know, like tag team.
Yeah.
As people would go out, they would go, have a good show.
Yeah,
you could see it in their eyes, like, but don't. Have a good show, but not as good as the one I'm about it. I've just done, you know.
That's funny. That's very funny. That's lovely. So your book is available.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And what else have you got out there?
The most important thing is the album.
Right.
From Blueeyed Records.
Of course.
Which is called Licknabite.
Now that's an odd title, you know.
It is. I thought because
only because I didn't know, or I don't know what it actually meant.
No, because I'm a marketing genius. I thought it would be great to call it something that nobody knew what it meant. No one could spell.
It's hard to spell, I think.
Yeah, Licknabite. It's an old word for someone who lives at night. It means work by the lamp, basically. Life by the lamp, yeah.
So that word actually goes, is it Latin or?
Yeah, it's Latin.
Goes back to...
I'm pretty sure it's Latin.
Is it?
It might be Greek. No, I think it's Latin.
Do you speak Latin?
Only my Catholic school.
Catholic school Latin?
Latin, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Because you were going to be a priest, were you?
I was, yeah. That was definitely a...
I don't know why I brought that up, but it seems to be buried in the back of my mind.
But when I was a teenager, that's what I was going to do. I think lots of first sons in Catholic families, that's what they're going to do when they're a teenager.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh. Is that your calling?
Yeah, it might be, yeah. It might be just packing in.
Beam me up, Simma.
Yeah.
So Licknabite, yeah.
Which I've never had so much fun recording anything. We've spent ages doing it. Spent about 2 years doing it.
Quite diverse songs.
Yeah, it's really broad. There's like blues stuff on there. There's very folky stuff on there, which I like because I'm a storyteller. I think.
Yes.
You know,
well, certainly the first song we heard there.
Yeah.
It took me straight to the street. I seen everything that was going on.
Yeah.
The poetry you've just read us there.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on the receiving end, actually.
Yeah, hopefully it puts you in a place.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
So whatever medium the story really it can take, then I would go for it. So there's like I said, there's a couple of really good folky songs.
Yeah, tell us about some of the songs. So tell us about the run of the album.
The first song's called Licknabite, which, no it's not. The first song's called now Voodooed.
Voodooed.
Which is a big metaphorical story I wrote about a man who was in the Deep South, where I've never been. So it's the Deep South from films and books.
Right.
That doesn't really exist, I'm sure.
Okay.
In the late 1800s, and he goes to see a a wise woman because he feels like he's rotten inside. And she tells him that it's the whiskey and the women and the wine
and all the bad stuff
and all the bad stuff that he's doing, and the devil wants him underground.
Ooh.
And he's ready for him arriving kind of thing.
There's one line that I can't think at the moment, but it always sort of stood out about the coffin thing.
There's no back door in a grave.
There's no back door in a grave.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. So it actually, which it's kind of ironically for it being set in that way. Lots of it is what an old auntie of mine used to say. God rest her soul, Auntie Meg used to say.
Auntie Meg.
Aye, and she used to call the devil Old Nick.
Oh, did she?
Who's in the song, and she used to say like things that you kind of take away, no back door in the grave and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
great line.
So so he mends his ways by the end of the song.
Yeah.
But it's just like a big metaphorical story about something that actually happened in a much more boring setting.
Right.
So,
but it's got that sort of genre of music to it. Has it got like?
Yeah,
sort of,
I wanted that swampy bluesy kind of. Yeah, it's really nice. Got trumpet in and
all
like
that
nice kind of slappy drums. It's really good.
Oh, it's brilliant. And
what else is on there?
Folky type stuff.
Folky type. The Happy New Year's on there. There's a one called Black Dog Walks.
Ooh,
which
what's that about?
It's obviously I'm not the first to use Black Dog as a metaphor for depression.
Right, but I've never heard of that before. But...
Right, okay, it's quite a well-worn. Churchill used to use it for his depression. He used to call it the Black Dog.
Ah, did he?
And I wrote it mainly for a show that I was part of, which was about the Tyne. So it's in that kind of.
Which the Tyne is.
The Tyne is the river in Newcastle.
Yeah, okay.
Which Tyne just means river. It's actually called the River.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So, but we do lose people to the river quite often up here. People do jump
off the many bridges.
Yeah, off the loads of bridges. And I wanted to write something about that to go into the show. So that's how that. But that's a story of someone who can't escape the black dog. Black dog follows him everywhere, but they can't follow him into the river.
So. There you go.
Yeah, nice and cheery.
Very cheery. Should we brighten it up with something?
Yes.
Not so uncheery.
There's a song on there called Blueeyed Baby, which I've had for years and years.
What's that about?
It's been very good to me, that song. It's about parents and children and the cycle of life and passing things on and receiving things and, you know, just
giving, receiving, giving.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Right,
I
only say that because Joey did it in Friends and I quite like that. That's how he did it.
But yeah, it's about the cycle of parents and children and what you gain and lose over time.
I tell you what, I'm going to close the show. Will you play that out for us?
I will, yeah, I'd love to, yeah.
And I'll just say bye to everybody, everyone at home. So, Simma Singer, he's got an album out, he's got a book out, check him out. Oh, before we go, social media? You've got to be into all of that, right?
Yes, my page on Facebook is Words and Music by Simma. Yeah. So it's Facebook / Simma the Singer, which is SIMMA the Singer. Twitter, I'm Simma Singer, and I'm probably other. Oh, my website is just simma.co.uk. So simma.co.uk.
You've got lots of it out there.
Loads of it, yeah. Well, you know, when you get in from work, you've got to have something to do.
Right. That's very good. So what we'll do is we'll say goodbye from Cooking in the Kitchen, DC Coast to Coast, Boomchang Records. I'm Stephen Paul Cunningham. He's going to play Blue-Eyed Baby, Simma Singer. Take it away.
Try to envisage my friend. We'll dance with delusion till daylight ascends, and we'll laugh with old Jack, 'cause he's our only friend in the night. We'll rue the mistakes that we knew we were making. It's easier now, we know that we're mistaken. So look in my eyes, check I'm not faking tonight. And I am the blue-eyed baby, as unlikely as it appears. My soul is the colour of rich summer sky, dark indigo are my tears. Would you care to join me, embrace this condition, have our adventure inside? Laugh at the times when the blue-eyed baby cried. Now if you're concerned about losing your way, have faith in your visions of night through the day, well, you know what you know, you'll know what to say when it comes. Embrace this defeat when it knocks at your door. You can see to the stars with your back on the floor. Well, you came here with nothing, you could leave with more when it comes. And I am the blue-eyed baby, as unlikely as it appears. My soul is the colour of rich summer sky, dark indigo are my tears. Would you care to join me, embrace this condition, have our adventure inside? Laugh at the times when the blue-eyed baby cried. So look at these photos of innocence lost. Maybe only now we can see what it cost, and the dark consequence of the caution we toss to the wind. Now they are the blue-eyed babies, as unlikely as it appears. Their souls are the colour of a rich summer sky, dark indigo are their tears. Would you care to join them, embrace their condition, have their adventure inside? Laugh at the times when the blue-eyed baby cried.